Hey everyone, it's Simplicity and welcome back to a new video. Today we have a bit of a cast challenge, and I've seen this video in The Sims 4. They were kind of like older videos, but I was kind of like curious to see if there were any sort of cast challenges going around or like ones that I haven't done. And I came across a couple of videos of the Identical Triplets challenge where you have to make all three Sims look as different as you possibly can. And I was like, you know what, that sounds like a lot of fun, and like me playing on different styles and abilities when it comes to Sims. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and do that for The Sims 3, and that is what we have here today. So I know that I missed my upload yesterday. If you follow me on Twitter, you would have seen that I was like, yeah, my game is like broken, it's not working. And thankfully, one of my favorite people, his name is Milo, he gave me a couple of suggestions and actually ended up helping me out, and my game is back up and running. So thank you, Milo, for that if you're watching. But I'm going to leave a link to Milo's gaming Instagram down below in the description. Please go and check him out and give him a follow. He deserves all of the love in the world. And I am very thankful that we're such close friends, and honestly, he feels like he's family at this point. But yeah, so thankfully, Milo pretty much saved my game, my channel, me not having to rebrand myself to something different if I switched up content, and I'm able to go ahead and do videos like this. So again, please go ahead and drop a follow for Milo's Instagram. It'll be in the description down below. I'm also going to link the two videos that I watched for the Sims 4 version of this challenge, just because I don't want anyone thinking that I have credit for the idea when I definitely don't. So they will be linked down below. One I believe was Sydney Macaretta. I probably just said her name wrong. And the other one I can remember QWERTY, but I can't remember the rest of the username. But either way, I will have both of them linked down below. So for the very first sim here, I was thinking kind of like gothic, grungy sort of vibes. So that was what we went towards, and I actually had a lot of fun testing out different styles and CC and everything for the same sim. Because normally if I'm making a sim, like I have a very prominent idea in my mind of what I want them to look like. And with a challenge like this, I can't really do that because there's going to be 3 different replicas. Also, I probably should have mentioned, obviously I'm using the exact same base sim. We're going to pretend that I'm not. We're going to pretend that they are literally just like identical triplets, because I don't have any sort of actual like identical triplets or anything. So we're just going to go ahead and use one of the same base sims. But she's very cute. She's a different base sim than the one that I was using the other day. They are like my own creations, like within casts, but I tend to do most of that off camera nowadays, which for this sake I'm kind of thankful for, because alone with just giving these sims like makeovers and changing up their styles took me 46 minutes, let alone if I had included making the base sim for this and then doing all of like the makeovers and everything too. And I was looking at it, I'm like, I debated on actually doing like a voiceover during this video and having it be like the full 46 minutes. And I went, nobody's going to want to watch me sit here stylizing my sims and each of my thought processes for 46 minutes. So I decided to not, go that route with it. And instead we have like a 15, 16 minute video, something around there, which I feel is definitely a lot more manageable. But, so this one I think is Erica. Quite literally, I don't know. I randomize their names. So I may have mentioned this, I might not have, I'm not sure. But this one I was going for like the more kind of like grungy, kind of gothic style, which I feel like I tend to lead towards most of the time when I'm making a sim. So this was probably the easiest style for me to go ahead and do. I had a very specific plan in mind. Sorry, my air conditioning is turning on. But I had a very specific plan in mind of what I wanted this sim to look like and like style-wise. It just took me a very, very long time to figure out like where the shirt was that I wanted, which was this one. And then I was going to pair it with like a pair of high-waisted shorts. And I was like testing out like a few different styles. None of these shorts had like a high enough waist on them for it to look like the shirt was tucking in, which kind of bothered me a little bit, and the ones that I did have were not really like style. So I went ahead and I didn't like the vibe of the skirt. So I used, what one was it? This one, because I knew that they had a black swatch for this. So I waited for that to load up, and we went with that, and then we hopped in and we recolored the top for this as well, for it to match and blend into the shorts a little bit better. And that was just kind of, I left the flannel the way that it was. We used some combat boots, there's piercings, there's fishnets, there's tattoos. Like, this was very much up my alley when it came to a style like this, and I'm very happy with the way that she came out. She does have a bit more of a dramatic eyelash situation than the others, because I felt like the ones that I typically use were overpowered by the makeup, and so I was like, you know what, I'm going to use these ones, and that was what I did. They do actually add to the style of the sim quite nicely, so I can't remember exactly what ones I used here, but I did it like the look of all of them, so it's kind of tough to choose. We gave her these earrings here because I thought they kind of matched the light vibe, and you can see them because her hair is up. And then we went crazy with a bunch of piercings and all of that, which I had to hop back up to see what they look like, and I loved it. I thought it looked so good. I wish the eyebrow piercing was adjustable, but other than that, I was happy. And then we hopped in, and tattoos were added, nails were added, and then I was looking for my fishnets, and I scrolled right past them, so here they are, and that was her vibe done. And then we moved on to the second sim. I don't remember her name. So this was the sim that I was thinking was going to be kind of like more girly with her look. And I feel like I kind of gave her kind of like fairy princess vibes. I don't know why. That was just kind of the vibe that I was like picking up on with her. And I feel like it worked quite nicely. So you're seeing here that I changed up her hair color. We went blonde because I realized with the challenge that the other two were doing that as well. So I was like, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and go for it. So I changed it up. Oh, did I not go full blonde? I might have went this like brown, kind of like dirty blonde. Actually, I think I did that because I didn't like the way that the actual blonde looked with the skin tone. I think. I'm almost certain that's what I did. And then we hopped in, obviously changed up some eyebrows, trying to figure out what was going to look the best with her. And then I toned them down a little bit. We adjusted the eyebrow position just to make it look a little bit more natural and softer for the overall facial features. And I feel like she was actually a lot easier than I expected. I was struggling, Liam sitting there, like, I don't know what to do for the third sim. So these first two were fairly easy for me, because I was like, they are so different that I feel like it's going to be pretty easy to go ahead and go ahead and stylize them in different ways. My main thing was trying to figure out if I wanted black or brown eyeliner on her, and I went with the black because I felt like it brought enough of a contrast towards her eye shape than the brown did. The brown felt like it was just too natural, and it wasn't working for the pink eyeshadow, so we moved away from that. We gave her some nice little soft lashes, and we just kind of went ahead and dolled her up fairly nicely. So yeah, you'll see that I'm just going in here, adding in some contour, some highlights, some blush. There was, I think, possibly on the last sim that I used a different blush than I normally would, and I think I was going kind of, I'm not going to say like anime, but like a very kind of like flushed look with the makeup on the third one, which you will see whenever we get there. But I kept this one very kind of like baby pink. I was looking at this dress and I was like, I love it, but it's not the proper style. I could have used this and I didn't. I went with, where is it here? A dress that I have not used. I have not had the chance to use it yet, and it works so perfectly. It's this one. And I was like, this is such the perfect time to use this dress. So that was what we did. There's a few different like color options and everything, but I didn't like them as much as I liked the purple. So we stuck with that. She has a pair of flats. And I think this is probably when we hop in here pretty soon and look at all the other color options. Oh, that was good. I also gave her a pair of heels. So we went with a pair of like these black heels, and then I was going through these color options. None of them stood out to me the way that the purple did. I just felt like it looked the best on her skin tone. And she gets a cute little flower headband, which I don't use these very often because I never have a reason to, but it worked so perfectly with this outfit that there was no way I was passing it up. We went with a bit of a longer necklace just to add some interest to the neckline. Since the dress is off of the shoulders, we went ahead and gave her some little pink nails. She also has a ring, and she has some very faint tattoos. Like, she does have tattoos, but they're not much. It's not anywhere compared to Erica. So she just has them just kind of like that, and I felt like it worked. And then we moved on to the third one. So this one, I was originally going to go kind of like nerdy with it, and then I found a top that I hadn't used, and I was like, you know what, this works really well for kind of like a very casual laid back sim. So that was kind of the vibe that we went with here. I kept the eyebrows that she had originally, and we went kind of a bit softer with her makeup. She's a bit more natural. I only used this and then gave her some eyelashes and some inner corner highlight. So she's very kind of like natural, not too much going on makeup wise, but I felt like it still worked really nicely. And then she ends up getting kind of like a blushy nose. She's got a different highlight than the rest of them, I think. I don't know. I can't entirely remember everything that I did, which I feel like I should be able to, but I do not. But we went ahead and we used the blushy nose over the top, and I felt like it was just so cute that I couldn't pass it up on a sim like this. But I was trying to see what I could use to kind of like enhance her a little bit more and bring a little bit more of some color to her face. And I truly do think that the nose blush is what I needed for that. There was just something about the nose blush that just brought the entire look together. Like, look at it. Something about that just kind of like brought everything together. I don't know why, but it did. And then she ends up getting a nude lip, possibly, because I was trying to keep her as natural as possible. I didn't like the way this gloss looked on her, so I think we went with the matte lip, and I threw the Praline Sims gloss over the top of it, just to add a little bit of some life into her whole look, I think. Yeah, that looks like that's what I did. And then we hopped into her outfit, and we were testing out a few different things. But as you can see, like, first I was thinking kind of a bit more nerdy styled. But then I found a top that I had not used, and I was immediately sold. And I mean, like, immediately sold. Like, I looked at it and I was like, nope, that's the one. That's it, that's all. We're going with this one. So you will see that here in a little bit. I think it's at the top. So we are quite a bit away from where it's actually like placed. But you'll see that I go ahead and test out like a few different things. And I end up going back because I didn't like the way that the styles that I was originally going with were looking. And I'm so very glad that I did. So I went with something like this. And I recolored it. It's just really kind of cozy. I kept the pants the same because I actually really like them. And then we went with some shoes like this, just kind of nice and casual. I do hop in and I recolor here in a little bit, but then we went ahead and we gave her some glasses, some nails, and I think that was really about it. So she was fairly easy to do once I had kind of the base down, but you will have to let me know, how did I do at making the triplets look different? Because I feel like I did pretty good, but I'm curious to know what all of you think. I'm gonna go ahead though and wrap up this video here. I'm gonna leave some photos of all three of them side by side so we can see them all and like fading into each other. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up right here. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, you can go ahead and hit the like button down below. If you want to see some more videos from me, you can go ahead and subscribe. I post videos typically 4 days a week right now. If you are already subscribed and want notifications when I post, go ahead and hit that bell down below. Make sure that your YouTube notifications are turned on. Stay tuned for those screenshots, and I will see you all next time. Bye, lovelies!